Hello, hello. Happy Monday, American Crochet Association. Selena Baca here, founder, host, lead educator with the ACA. And on Mondays, I like to mingle so that everyone here in our community knows what's new, hip, and happening in the world of the ACA. I also want to give a shout out to everybody who is celebrating Valentine's Day today. Whether you're doing it with friends or family or loved ones, hope you guys have a great day. All right, everyone, I have links for everything that I'm talking about in the video description, so feel free to follow along live or on the replay, and just know that I'm running down the list of all of the things that I'm chatting about, and again, all of those things have links. Before I get started with all of the new fantastical stuff this week, I've got some giveaway winners for last week, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to keep this thing going because it's a lot of fun to have these giveaways. So last week, the giveaway was, I was going to pick 4 winners to get all of the patterns that I talked about last week, and there were 3 crochet patterns that I talked about. When you view last week's Mingle Monday, you guys can see what those patterns were, and you can get links to each one of them. I did reply to all of the winners. So the 3 patterns last week, or the winners for the 3 patterns last week are Gina Ingram, Roxanne Mata, Linda Hepp, and Harley McKiddy. I do have their names listed here below. That way you guys know who the winners were last week. But again, I did reply to them in last week's video with instructions to claim. So thanks for participating, and I hope you guys enjoy those patterns. So because you guys dug that so much, I'm going to do the same thing this week. So leave your comments, whether you're here live or on the replay, and I'm going to randomly pick 4 of you guys to win all of the crochet patterns that I'm talking about this week. And there's some good ones. I'm pretty excited. There's a little bit of a theme with them, and you guys will see more about that in just a second, okay? So what I'd like to start with is what's new in the crochet membership. And so I'm just going to walk you guys through how to log in, how to sign in, what it looks like, all that fun jazz, okay? So if you are part of the crochet membership, all you guys have to do is log in, preview as a student, my courses. It looks a little different for me because I'm an admin. So sometimes I have a little bit more clicking than you guys do. All right, and you guys see here, I'm looking at all of my courses. I'm going to look at the membership. If you are not yet part of the American Crochet Association, you guys can join today for just $10. Again, all the links are in the video description. So get in on that bandwagon, okay? Just $10. All right, as soon as you join the crochet membership, you're going to see all of these resources, and you're also going to see the February mystery crochet along. Part 1 is something we already talked about. Part 2 was just posted last week, Friday. So I'm pretty excited about part 2 because at this point, we know it's mystery. I'm using that term a little loose. You haven't seen the finished project yet, right? I'm not sharing that, but we know it's a backpack and we know the elements of the backpack, right? So part 2, we're actually making the body of the backpack. So I gave you all the instructions for that. And I even made a video tutorial for you guys. And this is something that I typically don't do with projects, but I'm having fun with technology. Technology and I are getting along. So I thought, let me just kind of give this a go. So definitely take a peek at that video tutorial that I did and let me know what you think. Maybe this is something I'll do a little bit more of, maybe not. I don't know. You guys let me know. Okay, so that is up and ready. And you guys can work on that all this week. And I gave you guys an entire week to work on it because it is 33 rounds of work. So you guys, you may not be marathon crocheters. Maybe you can finish it in one sitting, but it may take you all week to do. It's totally fine. We're not on a schedule. Nobody's behind, anything like that. But I did want to give you guys a little bit of time to do this. So after this part, we do have one more crocheting part where we're making just the finishing touches of the bag. And I'm going to put that out this Friday on the 18th of February. And then after that, we're just going to have a fun finishing party. So again, we've got this entire month. We're still not through the month yet to work on this mystery backpack. And I'm pretty excited to hear what you guys think about it. As a matter of fact, when you guys come on over and join the community, links below, the community is on Facebook, and I am using a hashtag, and that way we can see all of the projects so far. So if you are following along with this crochet along, or just if you want to visually follow along, maybe you're not picking up your crochet hook and your yarn, You guys can search this hashtag. I've got a link below, or you can use the hashtag. And what's so cool about social media is that it groups everything together. So I love hashtags for that reason. So if you're not sure if you want to follow through with the crochet along, if you want more information, if you like mysteries, but you need to demystify most of the mystery first, we do have quite a few projects that are posted here, and they look pretty good. I'm pretty excited. I love the colors. I love the progress pictures. I love that so many of you are using 24/7 cotton. It's one of my favorite yarns to make crochet bags with, and it is the yarn that I use to make this bag. So it's nice to see that. It's also nice to see what other yarns people are using, like Yarn Bee and different colors. Look at this beautiful orange, whites, all those different things. So you guys can definitely click on over and just browse through if you guys want to. All right. We also have some other fun things happening in our community. I always post polls. You guys are always asking questions. You're sharing your work. So I just wanted to take a moment to thank everyone who makes this group a community. It's fun to see what you're working on. It's amazing to see what questions you have. I love to hear what your crochet progress is. So keep that coming, because it's things like that that help to make this a community. So thank you guys. All right. So I do have something new to share in terms of reading. I shared the article a few times last week. I put it on our page and I put it in our group. But again, we like the Mingle Mondays because it tells us everything that we're missing, right? And I also just kind of wanted to take a minute to talk about this. So crochet color work is an article that we wrote years ago, right? And it actually comes with a really big cheat sheet. I think it's like a 20-page cheat sheet. And I posted it in our community and I asked for volunteer editors, and I had dozens of editors go through it. And you guys gave me some fantastic feedback. So I kind of brushed it up a little bit. I changed some things and modified some things. And so not only do we have that cheat sheet, but I have an entire article dedicated to crochet color work. Now, I love this article because a friend of mine actually put this together a couple of years ago, and she's the one who actually taught me what the differences were between tapestry, Fair Isle, and intarsia, because until she told me, I had no idea. And you can actually take these elements and apply them to other types of color work. So if you hear about things like mosaic, or I don't know, I can't even think of any other kind of color work off the top of my head, but typically all those other kinds of color work are just variations of these. So it's really interesting just to know that, spoiler alert, color work in crochet, especially when it comes to things like this, it's really just what you do with the yarn that you're not using. That's it. When I finally figured that out, I was like, oh, and of course there's tons of different things that we can do in terms of color work, because you may look at different color work things and go, what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? It's really just about what you're doing with the yarn color that you're not using. And that's it. So essentially there's a few things that we can do with those yarn ends. We can cut them off. Okay, I'm done using this color. I'm going to cut it off, and if I use another color later, I'll pick that up, right? I'm only holding one yarn in one color at a time. Or maybe you're carrying those colors and you see that color on the back side of your work. So you're just kind of leaving it floating in the back. Or another thing that you can do is you can crochet over the color that you're not using. So there's pros and cons to each one of those things. And you guys can get tons of cheat sheets, tons of information, tons of picture examples, how to read color work graphs, how to read those charts, what it means, what Fair Isle means, what it means to work color work, what it means to apply these color work techniques and actually work up a project. Now, when I say there's pros and cons in each one of these things, depending on which one of these color work techniques you use, maybe you can use more colors, maybe you can use less colors. Some fabrics are thicker than others. Some fabrics are going to be one-sided. So really, color work is as simple as, what are you going to do with the yarn that you're not using? But depending on the method you use, really there's so many different variations of what your fabric is going to look like. So take a peek at this article, and I would love to hear your feedback. So give it a read, leave me a comment there, or come on over to our community and make it a fun conversation. Now, you guys can always pin these for later. You can read them. You can share them on Facebook. You can email them to a friend. But again, I also have this that you guys can download because this is great information that I want you to have forever, right? This is great crochet information. So if you do want to download all of this information into a cheat sheet, I'll email it to you. All you have to do is click this big colorful thing right here, and you'll get the cheat sheet emailed to you in a form that you can save, you can download, you can print, you can do whatever you need to do with it. Okay. So again, I'm really looking forward to hearing what you guys think after you read through this, because again, this is exactly how I learned what color work was and how to apply it. So another fun thing that I did at the bottom of this article is you may read through this and go, well, now what? Now I want to make things, right? So I put together an entire Pinterest board for you guys filled with crochet color work designs. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. I was really just looking for great examples of color work. Now, just because they're listed here doesn't mean each one of these things is, this is just tapestry, this is just Fair Isle. What I think is so interesting about color work is that sometimes when you're following a pattern, it will tell you, hey, I want you to do this particular kind of color work, or to get this look, or to get this feel, or, because this is a one-sided or a two-sided, it will give you additional information to let you know what technique they used. But I think the fantastic thing about color work is that once you learn the different methods, once you learn what to do with your tail ends, then maybe you can change it up a little bit. So I have there are 88 pins so far, but once you get on Pinterest, it's really easy to kind of go down the rabbit hole of saving and finding more things. I have tons of different color work projects that you guys can go and find and play with and have fun. So as you guys read that article, if you make anything, I'd love to see what you make, and I'd love to hear what you think, especially if you have any other tips or anything like that to share. Whew. All right, I see so many of you guys are watching, so keep it coming in terms of, coming on over and saying hey and hello. There's so many names that I see here that I'm excited to see because I know you. So keep it coming. I've got a few more things to go through, and then I will have the floor open for questions, comments, feedback, and heys and hellos and all of that. So I actually have one new pattern to share this week, but I have 3 total patterns that I want to share with you guys. So the brand new pattern that I'm sharing on the site this week, it's an oldie, right? I do that a lot. I've been publishing patterns for over 10 years. So a lot of times I just kind of revamp, reformat patterns that I published a long time ago. And I am now publishing that work on our site for you guys to read and follow for free if you want. This one is the Tassel Tote. This is a tote bag that I really love because it's oversized and it's boho. And of course it has tassels on it. I love tassels so much. They're so much fun to make. And I love that this uses the cluster stitch. So it has this great texture, but then it has this tiny little peekaboo on there. So it's really, really cute. I love that. This is a super sturdy fabric. So there's a lot of single crochet used here, which can be a little hard on our hands and can be a little tedious. But what I love about single crochet, what I love about fabric like this, is it creates a really tight, dense fabric. And I love that in a tote bag, especially these slouchy, oversized ones, because I don't want to crochet something and start using it as a tote bag and it just kind of droops and is very slouchy. So I like to create fabrics like this, and that way it takes a lot of love and dedication to put it together with those single crochets, but I think that it's totally worth it in the longevity and the durability of the bag that you create. So this tote bag does come in 3 different sizes. So either 25 inches around, 32 inches around, or 40 inches around. So you can make it as wide as you want. And again, I really wanted this to be this big, wide bag. I had a lot of fun with that particular, I'm trying to find an image. There's one. I had a lot of fun with that particular kind of slouchy look. A lot of instructions here, a lot of instructions. And another thing that's really fun about this tote bag, it's something that I don't normally do, but I love doing it for this one. So I did not crochet handles for this, and there are not instructions for crochet handles, but if you want to add some, you can absolutely adopt crochet handles and, just apply them here. It can be pretty simplistic to do. I actually found a leather, or you can use, faux leather, pleather, if you will, strap, and I just sewed that leather strap onto this bag. And I really loved that look, because typically whenever we crochet bags, we're not really mixing different materials. And so with this one, I thought it was a lot of fun to mix those materials. So I just used one strap, and I did post a link so that you guys can use the same strap that I used right here. There you go. And that way you guys can go and find it. And if you guys want to see different samples of this bag worked up, there are 26 projects posted so far. So you guys can go and see what yarns people used. People use stripes and color blocked and ombre and variegated with short repeats and variegated with long repeats. Some people crocheted handles. Some people use chain handles. So lots of different variations here for you guys to get some inspiration. So have fun. That one is new on the site for you guys to, you can read and follow for free on our site. But if you want to download, save, keep a PDF without ads or anything like that, there is a link to do that as well. So you guys can do that and have fun. All right, so 2 more patterns I want to show you guys. And the theme is, I decided to stick with bags, especially since our February mystery crochet along is that crochet backpack. So I'm just kind of, tumbling off of that, especially since our latest release was this tassel tote bag that I hope you guys love. So I have 2 more bags that I want to show you guys. And these are not brand new, but they're still some of our most popular designs on the site. So I wanted to make sure you guys didn't miss them. First one is the basket weave drink tote. It comes in one size, which is a perfect size for if you have a insulated water bottle, or maybe it's not, it doesn't have to be insulated. I don't know why I had to be so extra. Maybe you have a water bottle you carry around. Maybe you want a gift for a friend, something to put wine or soda or liqueur or simple syrup in, or pickles or something like that. So it's a great little gift tote. And I also have friends that use these as shopping bags. So maybe you do buy pickles or something like that. You don't want them to, or even produce, and you don't want them to get ruined. These are perfect little grocery bags for that. So something that I absolutely love about this tote bag is that it uses the basket weave stitch in the middle. So that basket weave stitch, it is a yarn eater. It uses a lot of yarn. But what's fantastic about that is it creates a really dense padded fabric. So if you are putting something like a bottle or a jar or something glass in there, it's really nicely insulated. So if you knock it around or anything like that, it's really going to insulate and help protect whatever's inside just a little bit more. This is also a great pattern if you're new to post stitches. So if you're still kind of getting used to that back post or that front post, this is a fantastic pattern for you to try to really get familiar with that post stitch, especially worked in joined rounds, because it can be a little tricky at first. So if you want to kind of see that in action, I do have a video tutorial showing you how to use the basket weave crochet stitch, and that way you can really get a feel for that front post and that back post. I did use Knit Picks Dishy to make this sample, and as you can see right here, I use less than 1 skein to make this entire tote bag. So even though this is a yarn eater, you're going to be able to use at least 1 skein or less of something like Dishy. So it's a great little 1 skein project for you guys. It does only come in one size, but it is pretty customizable. So once you get the hang of the basket weave stitch, if you want to make it bigger or smaller, if you want to make it a basket, for example, instead of a tote bag, you guys can totally do that. And there are lots of different projects for you to see that in action and get inspired. So definitely check that out as well. All right, last pattern, but not least. Again, it's in the bag, it's in the tote, it's in the carrier kind of family. It is the spiked glasses case. Again, this is one that is free to view on our site. And I really love this project because I have lots of glasses, sunglasses or reading glasses or otherwise, and I never feel like I have enough cases for them. So I came up with this pattern to, take my glasses, take my sunglasses or my reading glasses with me. So it's not only functional for you, but it is a great pattern, again, to make a gift, to make something to sell. You know, you could even use it for other things. Maybe you have kids that, you know, need things to do while you're out at restaurants or otherwise, and maybe you want to put colored pencils in here or pieces of paper or something. It's a great little kind of tote for things like that. Not only is it, you know, it's kind of, it envelopes things, but it does have a little button closure. So it keeps things in there fairly nicely. This does use a really fun specialty stitch. You see how this kind of spike stitching right here. This is something that we talked about in our group this week. One of our members was like, I love the spike stitch. So it's a variation of the spike stitch, but it's a single crochet two together spike stitch. And that's what creates that kind of two-pronged look. So it's a really fun stitch to try out if you haven't. And this particular project is worked entirely in continuous rounds. So there isn't going to be that joining kind of seam, you know, going up any part of this. And I think that's really important, especially for smaller projects. So it's nice to kind of, you know, work something up and eliminate that. This is something that absolutely you can use yarn that you have on hand. You can use stash yarn. You can use one skein or less. You can put colors in here and stripes or not. So it's really easy and fun to customize that way. Whew. All right, so those are the 3 patterns that I'm talking about this week. It is this spiked glasses case, the basket weave drink tote, and the tassel tote. Again, these are the 3 giveaway patterns for this week. All you have to do to enter for a chance to win these 3 patterns this time next week is just leave me a comment, whether you're here live or on the replay. I'm going to randomly pick 4 of you guys to win a free copy of that, those patterns that you guys can save, download, print, whatever it is that you want to do with them for later. And with that, those are all of the updates that I have. So I just want to take a minute to say hey and hello to everyone who is here. Hello, Ethel. Thank you so much for joining. Hello, Angie. Good to see you. June is here. Good morning to Anita. Dana's Wanderlust Crochet. Always so good to see you, my friend. I got your email last week and I emailed you back. So I can't wait to hear what you say. Always so good to keep in touch with you. It looks like Brianna is here from Iowa. Thank you for checking in. My good friend Chris Lopez is here. Good morning. Happy Valentine's Day to you. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Hello, Ocean Girl. Hello, this is Marianne in New Mexico. Oh, I hope you have some great weather down there. Around this time of year up here in Oregon when it's still frosty, I think about you guys down in New Mexico and I'm wondering if you're having fantastic weather. Megan Lloyd is here. It is so good to see your face, Megan Lloyd. Thanks for checking in. Chris Lopez says, very interesting way to describe color work. Yeah. So everything that I said about color work, that was my interpretation of finally demystifying all of these different color work types. And really, even when I see different kinds of color work, like for example, I just got a new crochet book. Oh, it's in my stack of crochet books over there, but it's a mosaic crochet color book. And I thought, oh, I'm going to learn a new technique. But when I was looking through it, I was like, oh, I know these techniques already because I learned it in color work. So I think that it's really interesting to just think about color work in terms of what you're doing or what you're not doing, what you are or not going to do with those yarn color ends that you're not using. So yes, that's what finally made sense for me. Hello, Lady Crafters Fiber Creations, aka Mary. So good to see you. It's okay if you're late because whether you're here live or on the replay, it's still the same great chance. So I hope you enjoy. Dana's got some friends here. She's saying hey to Mary. And this may be for someone else. Did you make it back to the yarn bus yet? I don't know what that's about, but I am totally down for seeing a yarn bus. That sounds good. Dana's saying she is in Utah, rolling for Idaho, and I'll be headed home to the yarn bus tonight. Oh, that's what it's about. Okay, so you know all about the yarn bus. This is a side conversation. I don't know about these things, but I love it. I want to hear more. Seeing Stitches Creation. Sorry, that took me a second. Hi, Selena. How are you? This is Marsha Lee. Marsha Lee, thank you so much for joining. Marsha Lee says, hi, I am blind and I am trying to start a crochet business, but I have no idea what to create to sell. Do you ladies in the chat have any ideas? I can pretty much create anything. Oh, that's pretty interesting. And if you guys have any ideas for Marsha Lee, definitely continue a conversation with her. And in addition, Marsha Lee, on our site, American Crochet Association .blog, I do have a business section. So while you're over here, I do have articles on here to help you kind of find your niche, help you find, what it is that you want to do. There's so many different kinds of businesses that you could have in the crochet world. If you want to create items to sell, I've got some advice on that as well. I'm trying to make our site as friendly as possible. So I know you said that you're blind. So hopefully the way I've set up the site makes it accessible for you. So if you have any feedback on that, I would absolutely love to hear, because there's a lot of information that I would like to get to as many people as possible, including you. So keep me posted, Marshall, and stay in touch. Dana, I think it would be a great idea for you to join the American Crochet Association and take her course on having a crochet business. Thank you. Thanks for the plug. Yes, I do have courses on starting crochet businesses, including what to sell, what to make, how to sell it, all of that. So thank you so much. I do have, but if you're not ready to invest in one of my workshops yet, or if you're like, I don't know you, I don't know if I want to take your course. Again, that's why I have articles here, is I want to provide as much information as possible so that people can just build a better crochet life and do anything that they want to do in the crochet world. So thank you for that plug, Dana. I appreciate it. Janet is here. Hello, Janet Roberts. So good to see you. Dana's got all the crochet friends. She's saying hey to Janet too. I love that you know everyone, Dana. Chris says, Mr. Domestic calls the spook stitch, S-P-U-K-E, spook, the middle finger stitch. Oh, the spike stitch. Maybe that's a miss. I do that all the time. Calls a spike stitch the middle finger stitch. He is making a rainbow colored middle finger blanket. Well, I think it's so funny whenever there's a stitch that, like the spike stitch, and we come up with all these different, like the middle finger stitch. That's funny. I like that. I'd love to see that, by the way. Oh, Megan Lloyd, so good to see you. So good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while, so thanks for checking in. Kim is here. She's saying hello to all. It's so good to see you. Chris Lopez, I know it took me a minute. I had to say it out loud a few times before I was like, do you mean the spike stitch? Yeah. But the S-P-U-K-E, spook. You know what my first thought was when I saw spook was like, that would be a fantastic name for like yarn barf, spook. That's what I thought of. That's what came through my head. So it was fun to see that. All right, we got Dana laughing. It's always a good time when we got Dana laughing here. Seeing Stitches Creation. Sure, I will check it out. I am also a part of your group on Facebook. Yeah, and I'm so glad that you're there as well. And questions are always welcome in our community. The community there is open for all crocheters to ask questions, give feedback, share what you're working on, all of that kind of stuff. So definitely use that to do whatever you need to do to learn what you need to learn and do what you need to do. Oh, Dana, you've got all the friends down here in the comments. Everybody loves you. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for being here. Again, all of the links and the details are down here in the video description. And whether you're here live or on the replay, thank you for watching. I appreciate you. See you next time. Peace, love, crochet. Bye-bye.